What's up guys? In today's video, I'll be going over the process of installing my Ripps Supercharger kit on my 2015 Dodge Charger SXT. What the box the kit comes in looks like. It took about 3 months from when I originally purchased and ordered it for it to come to me. There's the actual supercharger itself. This out of the way. Pretty cool. Injectors. I'll be running a 93 octane tune on my vehicle. Intercoolers in the bottom, all the various parts needed to run the supercharger, filter, hardware, tubing, everything you need. Pretty cool. And then it came with 2 manuals. This manual's on actually installing the supercharger itself, and then this one's for setting up and running your tune. The first thing you're gonna need to do before installing your supercharger is scanning your vehicle to get a base for the tune they need to make for it so it can run the supercharger properly. How you go about that is you'll need a laptop with a Wi-Fi connection, the tuner they send you. This is the tuner that they sent me. It's from HB Tuners. Then you're gonna go onto your laptop and install the software and the drivers required to run the tuner. In the manual, it says they send you a USB with the software and the drivers. I didn't get a USB, so I just went onto their website. It was super easy and installed the software and drivers manually. And then basically you take your laptop with the Wi-Fi connection into your vehicle, plug in the tuner device into your OBD port, and connect it to the laptop with the wire they provide. Then you run a scan on your vehicle. You're going to turn your vehicle on without pressing the brake. So you're just going to click the start button twice, put into run. So the engine's not running, but it's running. So the computer in the car is on. After it finishes scanning your vehicle, you'll get the base file, which you will need to email to Ripps Tuner team. And the manual states within 24 hours, they will email you back your tune. I didn't get my tune emailed to me within 24 hours. So I just emailed them back after a few days when they resent it to me. I was also supposed to get an email, talking about basically taking out my PCM and sending it to them. So I didn't get that email, so I didn't realize I needed to do that. But I took it out yesterday and I mailed to them today. I have a 2015 Charger, so that model and above, you will have to take out your PCM and mail it to them so you are able to run the tune. And they'll mail it back to you where you're able to run the tune, because the stock PCM, you can't run the tune. I tried to do that by mistake, and then I called them and was like, yo, the tune isn't working. And then they just explained to me basically that I had to send in my PCM. So I'm working on that right now, and I should get it back within a few days. Real quick, I'm just going to show you guys where your OBD port is so you know where to plug in your tuner, and also where your PCM is located so you know where to remove that and to reinstall it. The OBD port is going to be located right underneath your driver's side panel, and it is located right here. You can see it right there. You're just going to plug it into right there. And then the PCM, you're going to come around to the passenger side of the engine bay, and how you get to it is, well, at least the way I did it was I removed 4 of these plastic clips holding this plastic down. 1 here, 2, 3, and then 4. The back one, I removed this plastic ventilation thing right here. And then the PCM is going to be located right underneath this plastic panel. You're just going to lift it up, and it'll be have 1 screw, I believe it was 13 millimeter, holding it down. And then you'll unscrew that, lift it out. There'll be 2 plugs plugging into it. They'll have red levers. You just lift the red levers all the way up, jiggle the plugs off, and there'll be 2 of those. And that's how you take it out, and reinstalling it will pretty much be that in reverse. Before you take your PCM out though, just make sure you disconnect the negative terminal on the battery. So to get to the battery, I already did it. That's why I have this piece of wood in here so my trunk doesn't close. The battery on this car is located in the trunk, and then the negative terminal is right here. So it's 10 millimeter, and then you just unscrew it, pop it off. If you want to be extra safe, just put a little cloth around it. And then just make sure you do that before taking it out or installing it, because you don't want to be touching, you know, electronics with the battery running through it. What's up guys, it's the next day, and I thought I would take it upon myself to do a few things in advance before receiving my PCM back and uploading my tune. The manual states to not install your supercharger until you've uploaded your tune to your vehicle, which makes sense because you won't be able to run your supercharger without the tune. I will just be taking off my front bumper today, just so I have one less thing to do when I'm ready to fully put it on. The first thing we will be doing is removing the splash guard underneath your vehicle, and to do that you will need to go underneath your vehicle. I just have a jack here with a jack stand, and also a jack on this side with a jack stand. I'm using jacks over ramps because I can't really be turning my car on and moving around, so this way I can adjust my car's height without having to move my vehicle. If you have a car lift, that's probably one of the most ideal things you can be using while installing your supercharger. But yeah, let's get underneath the car and take off that splash guard. So we're just gonna go up underneath the car. And that's kind of hard to see because it's so close to my freaking face. But right here, that's the splash guard. And they say to remove 4 10mm screws, so 10mm socket on your ratchet. And then I just got this screwdriver to pop out the clips. Just be careful when you do that and be easy because they break super easily. But the 3 clips that they're talking about, pretty sure is right here, middle one I don't have, and then there's another one right here. And that's just, as you can see, on the very front. And then the 4 screws, look, they even got arrows pointing to them. Bam, there's 1, 2, well, I guess that one's 1. And then way back towards the back, you got 3 and 4. So I'm just gonna take that off real quick. Here's what the splash guard looks like removed. The 4 screws. One of my plastic clips broke when I was taking it out, so I have to pick up 2 more of those, but that's okay. Now you're gonna want to remove both front wheels. I probably should have done that before I had my car jacked up, but it's okay. After you finish taking off your front 2 wheels, the next step will be removing the fender liner, which is this plastic piece inside your wheel well. Starting things off, you're gonna remove these 3 7mm screws, and then these 3 clips right here, 1, 2, 3. In the manual it states there's 13 clips around the fender liner to remove it. I think I removed 18. I'll just count them real quick with you guys. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There should be 1 there. 12, 13. Should be 1 here. 14, 15, 16. Okay, that's 16. So maybe you only have to remove 13 to take it off, but I just removed all of them and I didn't have any issue with doing that. I'm gonna show you guys real quick what the wheel well looks like without the fender liner. Just open, pretty much. And that's what the fender liner looks like. There's 2 screws connecting them, the plastic in the middle. I'd be careful to not rip those out because I started doing that mistakenly and broke them on that one. So that kind of sucks. The next step after you finish removing your fender liners is you're going to unplug your side marker light. There's a switch plugged in right here. I'm just gonna unplug that. It's a little plastic. You just push down on it, pull down. And then there's also a plug right here you unplug. There's this little red clip. You just pull it out towards you and then pull out. And then there's gonna be 2 right here and then right here, right there. I just removed them. 2 10mm screws, and you're also gonna take that out. And you're gonna do this on both sides. The next step towards removing your front bumper is going to be removing this 10mm screw, and then there's another one on this side. And then there's gonna be 12 plastic clips along the front of here, as you can see. And you're also gonna remove this charger plastic piece as well. It's also recommended in the manual to have 2 people help take off the front bumper, which makes sense. You know, one person on each side can lift it off. I also recommend probably taking out these clips first and this off, and then loosening these up, not fully taking them out. And then when you're ready, just pop them out with each person on each side and then lift off and set on the ground. So, you know, you don't drop it or falls off or something and you scratch up your front bumper. Is it coming down on that side?
No, it's stuck on something.
There's like something plugged in. Oh, it's the wire.
For what? Here, just hold it up real quick.
It's wire.
Was there just one?
It's like, has like a plastic clip. It's like stuck in it. Just gotta rip it out.
Yeah, just break it.
Freaking can. I'm like worried about pulling the wire, so then we can. Alright. I'll have to do that side too.
I didn't realize there's one on this side.
Yeah.
Was that it?